Morning, everybody. We're going to start with a congregational song. It's a little different, but I've been hired at so many Unity churches as a musician until about 15 years ago when I started filling in, and a lot of times they wanted me to sing Our Father, and it's a really hard song to sing, so I unitized it, and I wrote a new melody, and it's actually a country waltz. If anybody wants to dance, and I'm going to sing it once through if you want to join in, if you already know the words, and then we'll sing it together. Our Father and Mother, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. You give us this day our daily bread. You forgive us our debts as we do our debtors. Now here, we're going to affirm what we want instead of what we don't want, right? You lead us, and guide us, and protect us, and deliver us from error. For thine is the kingdom, and thine is the power, and thine is the glory, forever and ever. Are you guys all ready to sing with me? With our big voices? Here we go. Our Father and Mother, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. You are doing fantastic. Thy kingdom come. Let me hear you. Thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. You give us this day our daily bread. You forgive us our debts as we do our debtors. You lead us and guide us and protect us, and deliver us from error. For thine is the kingdom, and thine is the power, and thine is the glory, forever and ever, forever and ever. One more. Forever and ever. Amen. Good job. Wow. Fantastic. Yay.
So, good morning, Unity. So, Elaine is going to be getting a formal introduction later, but I think we ought to just give her a warm welcome right now for starting us out with that beautiful song. So welcome to Unity Church of Bonnier, where we live and express unconditional love and grow together in peace and prosperity. My name is Reverend Patty, and it is my joy and my privilege to serve as the minister in this church alongside every single one of you, because we believe divinity dwells in each one of us, and each one of us is called to serving and being the Christ in the world and in this place. So whether this is your first time or your 100th time, either joining us here in person or online, we're grateful for your presence and your participation as we create this special time together. And we have come here as part of love's divine purpose. I love saying that every week. Just think of what that means. We have been called to be family together and to learn truth together and to support one another together. And we celebrate the connection we all share through the holy presence within us and all around us that we call God. And in that spirit of community, we unfold in light and love all spiritual and religious gatherings and all people everywhere. We especially welcome any of you who are here for the first time. If you're in the room, please raise your hand, and our usher will bring you a welcome packet. And I've got my pages out of order. And we invite you to join us for fellowship coffee afterwards. And if you're online, we invite you to go to unitybonnier.org and check out the activities that are happening here. And before I do anything else, I just heard this amazing news, and I have to share it. So last Sunday, we had someone new for the first time with us. Eddie, would you wave or stand or do something? There he is. And Howard came up to me and said, there's a man here who's interested in Charles Fillmore's teachings, and it was his first time here, and I went over and started talking to him, and I said, well, you would probably be interested in the Urban Ministerial School. And I started talking to him about that and said, come meet Alva. She's already a student there. So this week, he is enrolled in the school, and he starts next week. So how great is that? Let's see. So, we got to have our joke before we do anything else then. All right, so this is a story about a man walking in the woods who's an atheist, and he's trucking around and just enjoying the beauty, the sunlight filtering through the trees, and he's just, in awe of all of this. And then he hears some noise over to one side of him, and he looks around, and darned if there isn't a grizzly bear there. And the bear sees him and starts running toward him, and he starts running, and he trips and falls, and the next thing he knows, the bear is upon him. And even though he has said all his life he doesn't believe in God, what do you think he says? God help me! So the whole scene stops. A shaft of light comes down from heaven, and this voice says, hello, I wasn't sure we were on talking terms. And and he says, well, it might be a little hypocritical of me to ask you to make me a Christian at this point, but I would like to ask if you would make the bear a Christian. So the voice says, all right, you got it. The light goes away. The action starts up again, and the bear bends down and says, thank you, God, for this food which I am about to partake. So let's all take a breath and go within as we relax our shoulders and our muscles and allow ourselves just to be still and present. And we move into our heart space and recall the truth of who we are, that we are beings of love and light. that we are divinity expressing in each individual manifestation, and we are filled with the power of the creator of the universe, with unlimited possibilities. So we just let that wash over us. Whatever's going on in our lives, unlimited possibilities. So we turn our minds now to all those whose names are in the prayer box. List of names. And we have Jennifer Scott, who's one of our members, has fallen and broken some part of her pelvis, and she's coming home from rehab tomorrow, so we're grateful for that. And there's a card out on the, you don't call that a buffet, but I'm not sure what you call that, out in the hallway, if you'd like to sign that. So we give thanks for her healing and for all these other people in which grace and the activity of God is active and at work. For Russell, for Edwina, for Cheryl's granddaughter, Margot, for Frank, for Jan, for Michael, for Chuck, for Becky, for Jody, for Karen Crow, Billy and Laura, Jennifer, Teresa, and then here's the other really great news. Aaron's daughter just had twins. So we're saying a prayer of blessing for Aspen and Aria, and Stephanie and Aaron are on their way to go to Georgia to meet them. They're driving today. And if you have anyone in your circle of beloved ones that you would like to add to this list, you can say their name out loud or silently. We allow ourselves to rest in the knowing that right here, right now, God is at work in the midst of each of these lives. That the divine within each one of us is never on vacation, is always calling forth the highest and best in each of our lives. So whatever circumstances are being faced, we know that love is at work. And we continue to expand our circle of love to include those throughout our country and throughout the world, especially those that are in war-torn areas, who are grieving, who are fighting, who are dealing with violence. We bring them into this circle of love. We bring in all the leaders from around the world, that their hearts might be turned to caring deeply about what happens to the people who are in their country, in their purview. We give our blessings, we send our blessings to Paris and to all those who are gathered there, to those who are playing the games, to those who are watching and supporting. We just bless this time where, in a blink of an eye, diversity is honored. People from all over the world are gathered and celebrated. And then we think of our children. When we look in these amazing little faces and see the eyes of innocence and wonder, we celebrate them and see them living lives that cause them to be all they were created to be. And finally, we think of a couple of our blessings. Just let those images float across our mind. Let our vibration rise up, because gratitude will always do that. And we close with our usual mantra of saying, I am grateful together 3 times. Please join with me. I am grateful, I am grateful, I am grateful. Now we have our statement of truth up there. Let's share that together. There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life. God, the omnipotent good. I didn't see Jody. Is she in here? There, come on up, Jody. Jody's going to do a little celebrating with you and inviting. What am I inviting? Oh, yes. Yes, that's right.
Okay, I forgot what I was doing. Okay, yes, Mary asked me during the week, it's been a really long week, but Mary asked me during the week to talk about Women of Unity for Love and Action. And I just want to say, first of all, Women in Unity is a gathering of anyone who identifies as a woman to come together in sisterhood and sharing, supporting each other, sharing with each other, and really creating a bond and connection and community with each other. And we've been doing Women of Unity a really long time. And recently, I don't know how many of you came to the tea party. We had this big tea party. That was our first event where we just did an event for anyone in the entire congregation and brought everyone in. And I think we had a really good time. It was a lot of fun. We want to do that again. There's talk of a Kentucky Derby party, so we'll look at that in May. But I wanted to also invite you. We don't have Women of Unity today, but Women of Unity is typically the second Sunday after church. And we come together after whenever Fellowship Coffee kind of breaks up, and we come together, and we usually have a planned activity or something planned to do. In September, I'm thinking it's going to be in the 8th. I haven't confirmed with Kim yet. We're going to do self-care September. And so anyone can just come and join with us and sit with us. You don't have to... you don't even have to participate. You can pass on anything, but come sit with us for fellowship in that. We do some fundraisers throughout the year for the church. We'll be doing the jewelry again. So if you have jewelry that you want to put back into circulation, save it for our jewelry sale, but we'll also be making the Christmas jewelry and selling it. Last year we raised $1,300, so we're hoping to raise a nice amount for the church again. The other thing we do is service projects. So a few times a year we choose a service project, and Susan Cullen was sweet enough to do, Susan's here, I know, I can't find you, Susan. Oh, she's in the back. She was kind enough to do, again this year, this is the second year we did it, Crossover Ministries with us, and we get school supplies for the kids. We've also done feminine products and baby products for women in homeless shelters, among many other things. So we will pick a few service projects throughout the year. If you have a service project that aligns with women, especially women and children, then let me know and we'll look into it. If you want to lead a service project, that would be super, because Susan's like the rock star service. It makes it very easy for the rest of us. And then we like to have fun. We just feel like when we do crafts. We had this, we made these it's called a fascinator. I didn't know what it was because I'm not posh and fancy, but it's the little thing that goes in your hair for the tea party. Sometimes it's a hat, and we made these. The glue didn't really work, so it was really interesting, but we made those for the tea party, and Mary Curley has kind of a hat thing for Kentucky Derby, so we'll see how that goes. But we do crafts and we do different things, and we just laugh and have fun and share with each other. So I hope that if you want to come, and you don't have to come every time, if you want to come and be part of this, I think it's a healing ministry. And if you want to be part of it, we'd love to have you there. My name is Jody Smith. I'm a former board member, and I technically, I think, lead the Women of Unity, but I lead it with so many other people. So just let me know, and we'll get you all set up. Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Edward Hayes, and somebody knows me here. And I am your service leader today. And let's see. I am the coordinator of the greeters. I think I'm on the Love and Action team. I'm not sure. I'm on the Fellowship Coffee. I'm part of the threesome that does the cutting of grass, which I assume we're going to need to do with all this rain. And I think, I'm going to look over at Howard, I think I can take the claim as being the head chef of the Men of Unity. Is that a fair thing? A little pretentious, but that's fine. So our transformational opportunities today, we have many things that are going on at Unity of Bon Air, but we're going to highlight just a few. And today, our guest speaker, who we will officially get to meet, that we're talking a lot about her, will have a workshop on fun and interactive ways to harness your passion to bring success and happiness. Enjoy a quick refreshment during Fellowship Coffee, and then join us back here at 12:15 for our Passion Test Workshop. That's a good one. Now, we will do the daily word, and this is an oldie but a goodie, prosperity. It has often been said, you can't take it with you. While it is true that money and material possessions must be left behind when I transition from this life, these things are not the source of my prosperity. My true wealth lies in my consciousness, my ability to give and receive love, to share what I have and receive from others with equal joy, to understanding and to use the creative power of thought, and to know myself and all people as living expressions of the divine. I live consciously and abundantly, making wise use of the earth's resources and drawing upon limitless storehouse of divine ideas. Through the power of God within me, I enrich my life physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Our scripture today comes from Matthew 6:20. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust consumes, and where thieves do not break in and steal. So, finally, we are pleased to introduce our speaker and musician today, Elaine Silva. Also known as Reverend Faerie Elaine, she is an award-winning performer and songwriter, touring with a thriving music ministry. Elaine's music life has evolved into a metaphysical musical ministry, and today she is sharing her program featuring the Daily Word through song as we celebrate this year's 100th anniversary of the Daily Word magazine. Elaine's many highly acclaimed recordings continue to receive rave reviews while touching the hearts and minds of her listeners. Reverend Faerie Elaine brings magic, love, and blessings to her performances while sharing herself and her music with emotion and authenticity. So finally, let us officially welcome Reverend Faerie Elaine.
Good morning again. So today, the theme is the daily word through song. So I'll talk a little bit more about it after we do kind of a meditation. And we're going to do this around the word surround. Is that up there yet? Well, anyway. Usually I could see. Okay. The presence of God surrounds me throughout the day and night. Can we say that together? The presence of God surrounds me throughout the day and night. So why don't we just get comfortable? We'll do just a short meditation around this idea of being surrounded by the presence and the power and the essence and the substance of Spirit, God, higher power, infinite wisdom, source, God, Goddess, Jesus, whatever you want to call this beautiful, magical, all-pervading energy. In the Unity teachings, we know that whatever we call this, power, is all there is. And everything that exists in the seen and the unseen worlds is an individualizing expression. There's only one power. Things may seem like they're not of the power, but they are. They're just the opposite, and they're ego-driven. But we stay in that presence like this. And when I sing I, now there's only one of us, so it includes everybody here. I am surrounded by the presence of Spirit coming through. I am surrounded by the presence of the Spirit of the angels too. We are all surrounded by the presence of Spirit coming through. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us too. The power of God protects us as the presence of God watches over me and you. I am surrounded. I am surrounded. We are all surrounded. Let's just take a nice deep breath of all that is, and know that I am surrounded by the presence of Spirit. And we can come back to the room. Okay. Very good, very good. So, I was invited to present lots of times on Wednesday nights at Unity of Sarasota. I live in Sarasota, Florida. And Wednesday nights, and I had done kirtan there, I had done meditation, just Wednesday nights, I always had a program. And then when we got Reverend Susie Shadle, she plays flute, and she decided that it was going to be now music and inspiration, and all around the daily word. So whatever the daily word was that day, the whole program was around that word. And I had to come up with 4 songs on Wednesdays for that. We did 5, but one we always repeated. So then when COVID hit, they only allowed about the same 9 people or 10 people to come into the building for like a year and a half. So there were just 2 musicians that took care of Wednesday nights. And sometimes I was there 4 times a month. Most of the time twice a month, but sometimes 3 times, 4 times. And so as a result, I wrote so many songs. I got so inspired by the Daily Word. And we know that it's the 100th anniversary of the Daily Word. So I'm going to, I have a few songs today. I have dozens of them, but I don't have time today to do them all. But I wanted to start with the Daily Word Protected. And I'm just going to read you a little bit. We can put that up there. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do that affirmation together. I feel protected by the presence of God expressing through others. And it's really great to know, okay, there's only one of us, and life is a mirror, and so we can be blessed by knowing that that's Spirit too, coming through us by means of somebody else. So this says, challenging or lonely times might leave me struggling to feel the presence of God. In moments when I find myself besieged with fear or anxiety, I help myself by calling upon the power of my faith. With faith, I quicken my belief that the presence of God is within me and all people. I pay close attention to the signs of the divine in the world, such as people helping others through service or generosity. And I'm grateful for those times when someone came to my aid. I've had that a lot of times, right? Everybody here has had somebody expectantly or unexpectedly come and help them. So I feel safe knowing God is within all loving impulses towards service and help. I see evidence of the divine when I look to others. I remember that the kingdom of God is all around me and within me, and I feel protected. So the song that came up around this daily word reading is called Protected, and it has a lot of the same lyrics as the song Surrounded, but I wanted to show you just because I put words in one song, a little bit of music appreciation. You know, it's sacred, but I can use those sacred words in another song. So I came up with Protected with a lot of the same words, but it's a completely different music application. And this one is kind of like a Buddy Holly song. I am protected by the presence of the Spirit coming through as you. I am protected by the presence of the Spirit of the angels too. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me too. The presence of God protects me as the power, the power of God protects me. And I know you all know this prayer of protection, right? You all know it by heart. I didn't write it, I just put it in the song. As the presence of God watches over me, I quicken my belief with the faith of God as the presence watches over me. I am stricken with relief as I witness joy coming through your heart as me. Standing in appreciation as I feel the hand of God in mine. Commanding as a co-creation, 'cause I know that it is all divine. For God is all there is. God is everywhere, expressing as everything. I am protected by the presence of the Spirit coming through as you. I am protected by the presence of the Spirit of the angels too. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me too. The power of God protects me as the presence of God watches over me. The power of God protects me as the presence of God watches over me. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about Martha Smock. Anybody know who that was? Martha Smock was the editor of Daily Word magazine for more than 35 years. So I wanted to honor, there were other editors too, but I wanted to honor Martha because she really put in her time. She was born in Missouri, and she started her interest in unity at a very early age because her mom was close friends with the founders of Unity, who are who? Yes, the Fillmores, Charles and Myrtle. And Mrs. Smock attended classes taught by Charles Fillmore. And after her college years, she was invited to join the staff of Unity School as a letter writer in the Silent Unity. How many people have reached out to Silent Unity? You know, I guess you can call them, you can write to them, email, but yeah, I have too. And so after she was working with the letter writing part of Silent Unity, she became an instructor in that department. And in 1944, she was named editor of the Daily Word, first published in 1924, 100 years ago. She was also the writer of 3 books on healing after being healed herself of cancer. And she described the Daily Word as a magazine of today. And that was a while ago, too, but it's still appropriate. Due to its close association with Silent Unity, the people at the Daily Word are aware of the needs being expressed through the prayer requests and the correspondences. So they endeavor to meet these needs through Daily Word messages. As Mrs. Smock said, many, many readers continue to comment on how remarkable it is that each message seems to be speaking directly to their special situation. And then she continues, Daily Word is what it was intended to be in the beginning. It serves as a daily reminder that nothing is hopeless or impossible, and reaffirms that we are spiritual beings who can meet any situation happily, effectively, and constructively. So let's have a hand for, was there a picture up there? Okay. Okay, yay. So we're going to move on to a new daily word, and sometimes it's more than one word. And it's, what is it? It's the light of God. So let's do this affirmation together. The light of God expressing, I am the light of God expressing. Okay, I am the light of God expressing. So this is a song I already had in my artillery. I had written it, it says 2003 back here, but it's well appropriate for this light of God, daily words. It goes like this. I am the light of the living God. Spirit moves through me. You are the light of the living God. And joy is our destiny. Let's try that together. I am the light of the living. Spirit moves through me. You are the light. You are the light of the living God. And joy is our destiny. Now we're going to sing the love of a giving God. And peace is our destiny. I am the love of a giving God. Spirit moves through me. You are the love of a giving God. And peace is our destiny. I'm traveling through eternity, unraveling in my humanity. The darkest night and the deepest pain bring me back to the light again. I am the light of the living God. Spirit moves through me. You are the light of the living God. And joy is our destiny. I'm traveling through eternity, unraveling in my humanity. The darkest night and the deepest pain bring me back to the light again. And again and again and again. We forget, then we remember. We forget, then we remember. We forget, then we remember the truth of who we really are. I am the light of the living God. Spirit moves through me. You are the light of the living God. Joy is our destiny, and peace is our destiny, and love is our ecstasy. So it is, yeah. You know that thing about we forget, we remember, we forget, we remember? We're designed as human beings to forget, because if we were always the light, we wouldn't be here. So we wouldn't be here. So it's a good thing, you know, to have a little breakdown so you can have the breakthrough again. We're going to talk about that in a couple of minutes. So I used to have a wonderful adopted Jewish mom in New Jersey, and she was the owner of a beautiful retreat center, a 189-acre mountaintop in western New Jersey, and she called it Mount Eden Retreat. And she used to have this thing called the Kindred Spirits Fair. And I went to it for the first time in 1993, and I basically never left the place. And I got on the board, and I helped with promotion, and I always had a booth and performed, and I did a lot with it. But we became closer and closer. And then in 1998, we adopted each other, a spiritual mother and daughter. Has anybody done that? Adopted somebody else as a spiritual sister? You know, I make a lot of people in my family, and I've had lots of adopted moms over the years. And my real mother was okay with it. She was secure in who she was. And my adopted mom's name was Elaine. And so we had Elaine and Elaine. And one day, probably around, I'd say 2002 or something, I was up there just because I would go there whenever I had time and just stay over, and we would do music. And so this one particular time, probably more than once this happened, but I'm up there suffering. Like something wasn't the way I wanted it to be, and that's what suffering is. We want everything to be, or whatever the situation is, to be different from how it is, right? Does that make sense? That's Byron Katie. And so I don't even remember what it was I was suffering about, but probably some guy, who knows, but I don't know. Probably. But she said to me, well, you know, you're going to have to learn to adapt and adjust. But she said it in a Bronx accent. And, you know, it just went in the memory banks, and I didn't really think about it for a long time. And then around 2008, something happened. It was a terrible thing that happened between her and one of her kids. And it was just really awful, and I could be judgmental, and I'm not going to talk about it, but it hurt me to see her cry and whatever was going on. And so, you know, then we went to sleep, and every morning when I would stay with her, I would get up early and make the coffee, right, with half and half. And she came downstairs, and I gave her a big hug, and I said, how are you? And she goes, I'm just going to have to adapt and adjust. She sounded just like that. And so I'm thinking, she listens to her own advice. I just thought that was the best thing. And then, then it's 2019 all of a sudden, and the idea comes into my head, I think because of the daily word. What's the daily word, the next one? Resilience, right? Let's do the affirmation together. I am adaptable and resilient. And so that's when this song came, and it's called Adapt and Adjust. And it's really easy. I'll teach you the chorus. It goes like this. Adapt and adjust, adjust and adapt. Acceptance is the key. Adapt and adjust, adjust and adapt. Acceptance for you and me. That's the chorus. Let's try it. Adapt and adjust, adjust and adapt. Acceptance is the key. Adapt and adjust, adjust and adapt. Acceptance for you and me. God grants me the serenity and courage to make a change. God grants me the wisdom to know when to play that game. Here we go. Adapt and adjust, adjust and adapt. Acceptance is the key. Adapt and adjust, adjust and adapt. Acceptance for you and me. For every beginning there's a brand new end. Even if we're losing or gaining a friend, with every beginning there's a brand new end. I accept what spirit sends. Let me hear you. Adapt and adjust, adjust and adapt. Acceptance is the key. Adapt and adjust, adjust and adapt. Acceptance for you and me. Acceptance is the key. Acceptance is the key. And again, acceptance is the key. One more time. Acceptance is the key. Good job. Yeah. So we have a new daily word. And this one is called breakthrough. Okay, so let's do the affirmation. A breakdown is often followed by a breakthrough. Does that sound familiar to everybody? But you know, you could have an epiphany, like all of a sudden, oh, aha, oh, this is going to happen, oh, now I understand that. But most of the time, we have a breakdown. We just get so low, and we hit bottom maybe. Sometimes we'll hit bottom in order to have a breakthrough, because we break through that bottom, and then we have a new ceiling, and then we have that breakthrough. And, they're necessary sometimes for our growth, and it's a good idea not to judge by appearances, she said to herself. So, and patience, right? That's another one. But this breakthrough idea came to me for that song, for that word. And this song is called Breakthrough. And there's at least one or two people here that know that I used to be married to an oldies DJ. It was a 7-year process. And as a result of those 7 years, I have somehow embodied doo-wop. So we got a little kind of doo-wop-y sound here. Breakthrough. There was a breakdown in my expectations with a face frown. I was feeling desperation, looking for that shiny pearl. Then I found my inner world, deep inside and through and through. And as I entered sacred space and feeling centered in this place, now you have a part here where you sing, there was a breakthrough, revealing what is true, a sacred. I got a new point of view. There was a breakthrough, breaking through and through. There was a breakdown. Everything went wrong, and with a face frown, I began to write this song, looking for that shiny pearl. Then I found my inner world, deep inside and through and through. And as I entered sacred space and feeling centered in this place, there was a breakthrough, revealing what is true, a sacred breakthrough. I got a new point of view. There was a breakthrough, breaking through and through. There's some confusion, this seeming limitation. It's just an illusion, this sense of separation. We're always changing and growing into more. Life's a rearranging metaphor. It took a shakedown to bring me back to me. This latest breakdown has really set me free, 'cause I found my inner world. I'm a radiating shiny pearl, deep inside and through and through. And as I enter sacred space and feeling centered in this place, there was a revealing what is true, a sacred breakthrough. I got a new point of view. I am a breakthrough, and you are too. Breaking through and through, breaking through and through, breaking through and through. Okay. Are we ready for another word up here? All right. What's the word? Guidance. Okay, let's do the affirmation. I follow the guidance of my heart. So a couple of years ago, this says 2020, a couple of years ago, someone very famous was in the news because he wasn't being given empathy. So then the whole idea of empathy came to me, and this song came out of it. So don't judge by appearances. So I'd like to put your hand on your heart, all right, and feel that guidance. It goes like this. Have a little empathy, have a little sympathy, feel into your heart. That's where our divinity reaches through infinity, when we feel into the heart. Now is the time for the changes to be made, right from wherever we are. What we hold in mind brings about in kind, when we feel into the sacred heart. Have a little empathy, have a little sympathy, feel into your heart. That's where our divinity reaches through infinity, when we feel into the heart. The heart knows the way, it's the truth and the light. It's our guiding star deep within. The mind tells us what, the heart gives us why. No better time than now to begin to have a little empathy, have a little sympathy, feel into your heart. That's where our divinity reaches through infinity, when we feel into the heart. Let's try that. That's where our divinity. That's where our divinity reaches through infinity, when we feel into the heart. When we feel into the sacred heart. Thank you, everybody. Okay, let's see. Yeah, there's just one more. So we're doing pretty good with time. So this was during COVID, 2020. And when COVID hit, right away, now I couldn't go to Pilates reformer classes. I couldn't go do my aerobics. You know, I've been exercising since I'm in my 20s. So my husband, it will be 15 years next month, he took my bicycle, which I had not ridden maybe a couple of times in the past 20 years at that point, and he took it to the bike repair shop. And he had to put on new tires and fixed everything and put a bell on it. And I started riding the bicycle. And it was great. I swim a lot, too, and a lot of ideas come to me because I'm just in with my own thoughts, typically. And so I would ride that bicycle around my town, and I live in a place called Arlington Park in Sarasota. We have a beautiful park. It's got 2 dog parks in it, a big dog park and a medium-small dog park. And I'm riding the bike, and I don't have a mask on, and I'm just being revealed. People are seeing me and hearing me, because sometimes I'd be riding and I'd be singing, and then I'd be like, ring, 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 ding, ding, and I'd be like, excuse me, good morning, and I'd be, oh, what a cute dog. And it was just so fun to be just sort of enthusiastic. And that's the word, right? Enthusiasm. Let's do the affirmation. Enthusiasm energizes me. And it does. And so I was on it turned into a weekly Zoom meeting, but it was when we used to go live, and then when COVID hit, we would go in person, and then we would do it as a phone call. So when it was still a phone call, a minister who was on there, she just said this thing. She said, gratitude invokes the law of increase. I'm like, oh, I never heard it that way. And I wrote it down, and it's the law of attraction. What we focus on gets bigger. And so I thought, yeah. So I wrote that down, and then when it was time to write a song for enthusiasm, this came out. It's kind of like a little country song. When I do record it, it's going to have some fiddle in it, like this. Gratitude invokes the law of increase. Gratitude brings me inner peace. I'm knowing this truth enthusiastically. I'm lifted and I'm feeling free. Joy invokes the law of increase. Focus on the good intent and then release. I am lifted and I'm feeling free. I'm loving my life enthusiastically. Love invokes the law of increase. Loving myself brings me inner peace. Knowing this truth enthusiastically, I'm lifted and I'm feeling free. Willingness invokes the law of increase. Focus on the good intent and then release. I am lifted and I'm feeling free. I'm living my life enthusiastically. Gratitude invokes the law of increase. Gratitude brings me inner peace. I'm knowing this truth enthusiastically. I'm lifted and I'm feeling free. Try that with me. I'm lifted and I'm feeling like you're on the bicycle. I'm lifted and I'm feeling free. I'm lifted and I'm feeling free. I'm lifted and I'm feeling free. One more. Lifted and I'm feeling free. And so it is. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Yay. I'll be back. I hope, Patty.
Thank you so much, Elaine. Good daily words and great songs. So, see if I don't see any ushers in the back. They're coming now. Okay. So now it's time for us to gather our tithes and gifts together. And if you'd like to hold it in your hands or your consciousness as we say our blessing. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, for the joy of giving and receiving.
And we're going to sing, God is my source, all my needs are met, and I'm grateful. That's all the words. Are they up there? Yeah. God is my source, like this. God is my source, all my needs are met, and I am grateful. That's the whole song. Come on. God is my source, all my needs are met, and I am grateful. And again. God is my source, all my needs are met, and I am grateful. All my needs are met. All my needs are met. All my needs are met. All my needs are met, and I am grateful. God is my source. God is my source. All my needs are met, and I am grateful. God is my source. All my needs are met, and I am grateful. God is my source. God is my source. All my needs are met, and I am grateful. All my needs are met. All my needs are met. All my needs are met. All my needs are met, and I am grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful.
So now we're going to bless our gifts. We're so very grateful for these gifts. We remember that the gift and the giver are one, and we're going to send these gifts out into the world to spread the love and joy consciousness within this community to Richmond and around the world. So let's affirm together our I am grateful mantra. I am grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful. And so it is.
We have kids?
We got one thing to do before we do that. Oh, okay. So I'd like our chaplains to stand up. Here are these blessed beings of light and love that grab one at the end of the service and have a special time of celebrating or lifting up a concern of your heart We're so grateful for their service. And then we want to bless all those who have helped make today happen. So we had our greeters at the front door. We have had Anne and Marcy and Safari in the bookstore, and Bernadette and her team in the fellowship hall. We've had Elaine with us today. We've had Edward helping us. We have Dan and Deb in the back. So let's give them all our blessing. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ you are. And we see you doing amazing things. Okay, now we're ready to see if the children are out there.
I guess I'm going to play it. I can play it. We are walking as the light, as the light, as the light. We are walking as the light of God. As the light, 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 as the light of God. We are walking. Are they coming in? Come on. As the light, as the light. We are walking as the light of God. As the light, 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 as the light of God.
Good morning, Unity. How are we all doing? Good, good. We had a fun class today. Stephanie was helping us out, and sorry, we made slime. But they had a great time, so if you have a kid up here, they have a tub of slime in the room. All right, that's all.
Wow, I was just informed they have rainbow slime today. So let's give our teachers and our children our blessing also. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you,
And we behold the Christ you are, and we see you doing amazing things.
and invite us to stand for our prayer for protection. Hands. The light of God surrounds us.
The love of God
Holds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.